Welcome to this explainer. Hey, if you're an SAP S4HANA student, especially if you're focusing on materials management, you're about to meet one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal, the customizing project. We're going to break down exactly what this thing is and why it's so incredibly important for your career.
So let's kick things off with the big, kind of scary question that every single new consultant has to face. You're looking at a fresh SAP system, you've got a global company with thousands of unique needs. I mean, where do you even start? It's kind of overwhelming, right? Well, the answer is actually surprisingly simple, and honestly, it's a huge relief. You don't try to boil the entire ocean at once. You tackle it one focused, manageable piece at a time. And thankfully, SAP gives us the perfect tool to do just that.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to talk about the challenge itself, the massive territory we're trying to conquer. Then we'll look at our map, which is called the IMG, and the vehicle we're going to use to travel through it, customizing projects. After that, we'll peek inside the toolkit, and finally we'll get to the why this whole approach is so critical.
Okay, first up, the SAP Customizing Challenge. You really have to understand the problem before you can appreciate the solution. And the problem, in a nutshell, is trying to tame the wild complexity of a full system rollout. Just try to picture the entire SAP system, every single module, every setting, every little switch you could possibly flip as this gigantic, uncharted territory. If you want any chance of success, you can't just wander into the wilderness. No way. You need a map.
So what is this all-important map? Well, in the world of SAP, it's called the Implementation Guide, or as you're going to hear it called constantly, the IMG. You can pretty much think of this as your master guide to the entire SAP landscape.
So what is the IMG, really? At its core, it's the complete hierarchical blueprint for everything, and I mean everything you can possibly configure in the system. It's all structured logically, usually by application area, giving you a clear path through all the settings. But here's the thing. The IMG is so much more than just a passive list of tasks. It's an active toolkit. It helps you manage the whole project, tailor the system to fit a company's needs, document everything you do, and, this is absolutely crucial, transfer all your settings safely and consistently from your test system to the live one.
Okay, so if the IMG is our massive, comprehensive map of the whole country, we still need a way to get around, right? We need a vehicle and a specific route to our destination, and that vehicle, that is the customizing project.
A customizing project does exactly what it sounds like. You select a very specific set of activities from that gigantic IMG map, and by doing that, you create a totally manageable scope for your team. You're no longer staring at the entire country. Now, you're just focused on your specific route. And this is where the magic really happens. For all you future materials management consultants out there, picture this. You need to set up the release strategy for purchase orders. Instead of digging through thousands of unrelated settings for finance or HR, your project view literally filters the IMG to show you only the tasks related to that procedure. All the other noise, it just disappears. Then, the system takes that beautiful, focused view and turns it into your project's command center. It actually adds new columns right next to each configuration task. So now you can see the status, you can see who's responsible for it, and you can see how critical it is. All of a sudden, it's not just a technical to-do list. It's a living, breathing dashboard for your team's work, right inside the configuration screen.
All right, let's pop the hood and take a look at the specific features inside this toolkit that make these customizing projects so effective and, frankly, so powerful.
These key attributes are what turn a simple checklist into a real dynamic project management tool. Right there in the system, you can track the status, you can flag the steps that are absolutely mandatory, highlight the critical path, assign work to your team members, and even see where you can use reusable templates to speed things up.
Let's spend the second on those BC sets because they are an absolute game changer. A business configuration set is basically a pre-packaged collection of customizing settings. Think of it like a ready-to-assemble kit for a specific business process. It's all designed to make your work faster and much more standardized.
And the advantages of using them are massive. For a big global rollout, BC sets make sure every country is consistent. They're perfect for building out systems for specific industries. And they make any future changes or system upgrades way faster and a whole lot safer.
You know, it's also really important to understand how the system itself evolves over time. New features are switched on using something called business functions. But the way those functions are delivered has changed a lot from the old ECC system to S4HANA.
We've moved from these huge, infrequent enhancement packages to more regular major releases and feature packs. Just knowing this helps you stay current. So let's bring this all home. We've got our map, we've got our vehicle. Why does mastering this whole process matter so much for your career? What is the real payoff here? Well, it all boils down to three things: safety, consistency, and efficiency. This quote from SAP's own documentation says it all perfectly. Using projects and the transport system gives you the absolute assurance that your settings are identical across all your systems: development, testing, and production. It stops mistakes before they happen and saves you from doing the same tedious work over and over again.
So we'll end with this thought. The task of configuring a massive enterprise system is huge, there's no doubt about it. But it's not impossible. The customizing project gives you the map and the vehicle to turn that overwhelming complexity into a structured, manageable, and ultimately a successful journey. So the only real question left is, where do you want to go first?